Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. New update from iRacing here today. These drivers driving these trucks for the first time with the new damage model. So we'll see how this affects these drivers here tonight. We know these drivers do not have resets, so it's going to make things a little bit more interesting having that newer damage model on these trucks. Here at Darlington Speedway, we got about a minute and a quarter left here before we get racing underway. I apologize for a little bit of a late start here tonight, but we are getting ready to roll, and apologize for the intro video not working tonight as well. We'll get that squared away here on my end in just a little bit, but we don't need any kind of intro video here tonight because we are here getting ready to rock and roll. Currently, Jonathan Jennings, your fastest truck up on the leaderboard. Try and get the points pulled up on my end, but we have a little technical difficulties here, so bear with me just a minute while we get that squared away on our end. We have practice is just about finished. Actually, it is finished. Checkered flag is in the air. And drivers getting ready to make their way out for qualifying. Jonathan Jennings running that Square D machine. A couple, actually, throwback paint jobs here tonight. We see a few drivers running some paint jobs. The 78 of Daniel Wilkerson running the old Country Chime paint job. Sweet looking ride right there. You know, if you've followed along here on Intensity long enough, you'll know I am a sucker for good paint jobs, and this is one of my favorite paint jobs actually in a long time. Old Mikey Waltrip Country Time machine. That's the one that I always think of when I see that Country Time machine. Chris Leftwich running the standard Shoney's paint for him. Justin McMahon running a Net Zero car. Or truck, excuse me. A lot of different drivers ran the Net Zero truck through the years. That's a slick looking ride there as well. See if we have any other sweet looking paint jobs here. Anything different. Michael Dunn running his Spears machine. Great looking paint job on that one as well. Adam Gardner going with a throwback to the Joker. So a neat little paint job right there. And we're going to flip our timing over to the tower here. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. Jonathan Jennings currently up at the top of the leaderboard. Justin McMahon, Adam Gardner, your top three still. Kevin Powell, the only other driver to win a race sits back in the 4th position, and then Steve Gerber, your top 5. You can see where your favorite drivers are currently standing here in the points. As Adam Gardner finishes his qualifying attempt, coming off of turns 3 and 4 down to the starting line. And he's going to currently be 4th fastest. 31 of Marshall Johnson just went 11th fastest on his first lap. So he's able to do here on his second lap. Darlington, a bit of a unique track. If you're not familiar with the track, it's actually egg-shaped. Pull up the track map here so we can see what we are running with here. This comes down across the stripe. And Marshall Johnson's going to go 8th quickest with about a minute left here in qualifying. So you can see the egg-shaped track here, turns 1 and 2, much more of a radius than turns 3 and 4. And the grip is really up against the wall. The track is not very wide at all. They call this track the Lady in Black, the track that's too tough to tame. And you'll see why here tonight as these drivers make their way around this just over a 1 mile racetrack. We'll take a look at our track info here, and you can see that there it is, that egg-shaped racetrack just over a mile, 1.38 miles long. The weather here tonight, beautiful, 72 degrees, a little bit of humidity, 53%. That track temperature though, 74 degrees, and that's going to play in to the driver's hands, giving them just a little bit more grip for a few seconds, as the track here is incredibly abrasive, and we'll see the drivers slipping and sliding all around the track here tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineup here tonight. We see that Jonathan Jennings is your pole sitter with Justin McMahon to the outside. Mike Leftwich rolls off from the 3rd position with Adam Garner rolling off 4th, and Chris Leftwich and Jackson Lomax round out row number 3. Tyler Millette back in the 7th position with Marshall Johnson back in the 8th position. Kevin Powell and Bill Gentry make up your top 10. And Steve Gerber and Michael Dunn, row number 6. Row 7 will find Daniel Wilkerson and Jeffrey Engel. Mark Dumont and Michael Dow make up row number 8 with Charles Leclerc and Kim Kraus in row number 9. Then rounding out the field here tonight will be the 27 of Christopher Simon in 19th, Kevin Brown in 20th, Eddie Rivers and Gary Maydew in row number 11. So 22 trucks here to do battle at Darlington Raceway as we get ready to run here at the track that's too tough to tame, Darlington Raceway. Of course, don't forget to check out our great partners here tonight. First and foremost, you have the Doghouse Racing League website. There is a link down below, doghouseracingle.com. You can find all your stats, news, driver info for all of the racers here tonight in the Doghouse Racing League. Of course, our great partners over at Race EPI for all iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com. You can also support the channel by checking out our web store over at intensitybroadcasting.com. You find hats, t-shirts, novelty t-shirts, as well as Atlee Atman Weiss's racing gear as well. So you can check that all out, link down below in the description. And of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Of course, Butt Kicker is a well-known, established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Figure out which Butt Kicker product's right for you. Visit the website at thebuttkicker.com. as the field makes their way down the back stretch, which used to be the front stretch when this track first opened. Making their way towards turns 3 and 4. 22 drivers getting set to do battle at the Lady in Black. One of the oldest racetracks on the circuit. Opened up in 1950, 73 years ago. It was the first super speedway. You'll see why as drivers make their way towards the starting zone, led by Jonathan Jennings on the inside, Justin McMahon to the outside. Our 2 points leaders on the front row. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Darlington. Looks like some issues already for Kim Krause as he's gone to pit road. Makes their way off of turn number 1 and 2 for the first time down into turns 3 and 4, and you see that high line being utilized. Garrett Kinder, good to see you in the chat, along with it's like Root Lab Production says Millette is my daddy, as Jonathan Jennings already starting to pull away just a little bit from second place Justin McMahon, and then third place Adam Garner. So your top 3 in points run 1, 2, 3 as the season is coming to a close pretty soon. We are in race number 12. Just Charlotte, Gateway, Five Flags Speedway, and then the season finale at Daytona. And already the field really starting to get single file and spreading out. Here you see Daniel Wilkerson working down, running off the back bumper of Michael Dunn as they make their way around. Again, this is tricky Darlington Speedway. What makes Darlington so tricky? Let's ride along here with Jonathan Jennings as he comes down the front stretch here and talk a lap through here as he dives down into turn 1, slides the truck up towards the wall, and then double apexes the corner. He's going to drive back down to the bottom and let the truck walk back out to the wall. That's going to give him the momentum he needs to make his way down towards turns 3 and 4. Again, right up against the wall through turns 3 and 4. See him diving it down off the corner, trying to get that momentum to get a good run down the front stretch. That's a lap here at Darlington. While running so close to the wall, it's really easy for a driver to get up into the wall and get what we like to call a Darlington stripe. That's where you slap the right side of the wall, of the truck with the wall. And right now Jennings showing why he's able to pull away, running such a good line. A little bit of pretty wheel right now too in that 91 machine. A little battle starting to heat up back here. We see Tyler Millette trying to run down Kevin Powell. Marshall Johnson right there in the mix as well as these 3 make their way off of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Again, right now, pretty much everybody's kind of getting single file. Christopher Simon trying to make a move here on the 117 of Richard Leclerc. And because of how tight the racing is, you see Leclerc get up in the wall, get himself one of them Darlington stripes we were just talking about. It's really easy to do that too. Just wash up the track just a little bit and catch that outside wall. So far, lap number 7, and we've had a pretty clean race so far. A couple drivers trying to run each other down. Let's admire some of these paint jobs that we were just talking about. The 78 here, Daniel Wilkerson running that Country Time Lemonade machine, made famous by Michael Waltrip. Right behind me is the window. And he's running the Winn-Dixie machine. Very reminiscent of what we used to see Mark Martin run in what is now the Xfinity Series. So a couple of really cool paint jobs out there. Right behind Kevin Brown running the Kodak machine. So many drivers have piloted that Kodak machine. Sterling Marlin, Ernie Irvin, just to name 2 that come to my head. That's Chris Leftwich making a move down underneath Jackson Lomax, trying to take that 4th position away to Lomax. able to get a good run into the corner and keep Leftwich at bay, and Kevin Powell right closing into this mix as well. Jonathan Jennings in the 91 machine, running that Square D machine made famous by Kenny Wallace. Justin McMahon running the Net Zero machine. This paint job rings a bell. I cannot remember if this was the Joe Nemechek machine or not, but that is a classic Net Zero paint job. For those who don't know what Net Zero is, back in the day we used to have to pay for internet providers, and Net Zero was one of the first ones to come out and do it for free. Here's Adam Gardner in that 56 Texaco machine with the Joker logo. Another awesome throwback paint job. See a battle shaping up here between Markle Johnson and Tyler Millette. You can see any other great paint jobs here. Well done in that Spears machine, as we mentioned before. I think that's pretty much all the throwbacks that I can see out there on the racetrack here tonight. Well, battle shaping up here between Mark Dumont and Daniel Wilkerson. It's a battle for the 13th position. And Tyler Millette losing a position here to Bill Gentry. Gentry in that Mountain Dew Baja Blast machine moving himself up into the 8th position. And again, so far, not a lot of position changes here so far. One driver who's made up the most positions is the 33 of Kevin Brown, who's up 4 positions from where he started, which is very typical of Darlington. It's more along, the longer you run, the more these tires start to wear out, the more these trucks start to slip and slide, then you'll start to see moves being made. As Michael Dow and Richard Leclerc battle. There's another throwback there. Michael Dow's running the Domino's Pizza machine. The throwback to Michael McDowell, I believe, who ran that for Michael Waltrip Racing. Daniel Wilkerson way down on the low side, trying to make this pass down into turns 1 and 2, down on the apron. And the track looks so wide, but the apron really starts right where that dashed line is at the bottom of the track. So really only about 2 lanes of racing, as we saw both Jeffrey Engel and Mark Dumont get up into the wall, both getting Darlington stripes there. Daniel Wilkerson able to stay off the wall, but he checked up to keep from getting into the back of Dumont, and that's going to lose him a little bit of time, as Kevin Brown able to pick off Jeffrey Engel as he struggled with his Darlington stripe and put him up 5 spots now, up in the 15th. Tyler Millette was able to get back around Bill Gentry, and Steve Gerber now moving around the 34 machine. I wonder if that 34 has been up into the wall. It looks like it's pretty clean right now, so could have pushed just a little bit too much earlier and wore out that front tire. Cheers in the Twitch chat for Jeffrey Engel, who is currently running back. He's got a battle right in front of him between Kevin Brown and Daniel Wilkerson, as Brown trying to use a little slide job here to get around Wilkerson, but Wilkerson's going to fight back up on the high side. Brown not quite clear. Now he is clear as they go down into turn number 3, and right behind you see Christopher Simon making his way around Jeffrey Engel. So Engel right now struggled a little bit. He was just up in the wall just a few laps ago. Made pretty significant contact with the outside wall, which is very common here at Darlington, but it's a lot of racing left. We're only on lap 20 of 77, and green flags racing since the drop of the flag. Tyler Millette and Steve Gerber battling side by side. Almost some contact there as Gerber gets down to the inside, tries to make the move down into turn number 1. He's going to clear Millette, move himself up into the 8th position. Gardner has Chris Leftwich right there on the back bumper. Leftwich trying to make his way up into the top 3. And while this is an incredibly tricky track to race on, it's also a very tricky pit road to get onto as well. So if we have some green flag pit stops, I would not be surprised to see at least one driver completely miss pit road. We see these 4 trucks make their way off of turn number 2. Wilkerson with a great run down into turn number 3. He's going to try to take that position back from Kevin Brown, but Brown just too good into the corner. And Daniel Wilkes is going to have to tuck back in line. Now Christopher Simon trying to make a move to look down to the inside, then to the outside. And Simon not able to get that done as Daniel Wilkerson was able to cover that spot before Simon was able to get to his outside. And now as they go back in off of turn number 2, Wilkerson just not able to pull alongside Kevin Brown to try to reclaim that position. Well, Chris Leftwich has made his way around Adam Gardner. Let's go back and see how the pass was made. Textbook Darlington right down onto the apron, pull a little bit of a slider as Gardner got a little loose on the entry of turn number 1. Now Kevin Powell taking a look down underneath Adam Gardner, and he's going to take away that 4th position, move Gardner back into 5th. And our first driver coming down to pit road, that is the 34 of Bill Gentry. And doesn't look like maybe he has been up into the wall a little bit. Let's take a look here as he comes by. Yeah, you see that 3 just scraped up just a little bit. So Darlington stripe for the driver of the 34. And we see Jonathan Jennings continue to stretch his lead as he's running up onto the back bumper of Kim Kraus to put the 17th position 1 lap down. Kinder says especially the center of 1 and 2 off of 1. Yeah, exactly. And if you've never driven on iRacing, this track is just undescribable to try to drive. It's a track you either absolutely love or you absolutely hate. I tend to be the latter. I can never figure out this track. I can get through turns 1 and 2 great, but I can't figure out turns 3 and 4 for the life of me. And you find that sometimes. So drivers that are so good on one part of the racetrack, but just not the other. And it's such a risk versus reward track where riding right up against that outside wall is where you want to be, because that's where the grip is, but just a few millimeters too far and you're just going to be right up into the wall, losing all that speed. Again, right now we see the field really starting to spread out here at Darlington, which is just classic Darlington. You know, as the tires wear off, people start to come and go, and right now we see one comer. That is the 27 of Christopher Simon trying to make a move here on Kevin Brown. Simon already up 5 positions. Brown is up 7, and we see Daniel Wilkerson's been able to get back around Kevin Brown as well. So looks like Brown may have burnt out his tires just a little bit too quickly. And that's why he's fallen back after gaining so many positions. As we see Daniel Wilkerson, looks like Wilkerson's heading down for pit road. Wilkerson's been up in the wall as well. He's able to cleanly get onto pit road as Jonathan Jennings goes around the 78 to put him a lap down. And Adam Gardner as well as Jeffrey Engel all making their way down onto pit road. Both drivers able to get onto pit road cleanly. Kevin Brown makes his way down onto pit road. See Kim Kraus. Oh, gets loose right in front of Jennings. Wow, that was a moment for our leader. And oh, Chris Leftwich having some issues. Chris Leftwich trying to get onto pit road. Let's see what happened to the 13 machine. Oh, he was heavily up into the wall before this. He was really slow and in the wall. Let's see if we can see, go a little further back. It looks like oh, he had some issues before this. Let's go back and see. Ooh. Heavy contact with the outside wall. Not really sure what happened there. As Jonathan Jennings is going to make his way down onto pit road. Let's go back a little further and see what happened to Leftwich here. So he was trying to get onto pit road. Oh. All right, that explains a whole lot more. So Leftwich, we're going to go back even further than this because it looks like he was having some... There's where the problem started. Getting down in the corner, we see the 50 up in the wall. They make some contact. Leftwich hits the outside wall. He gets really slowed down because of it. Hits the outside wall. I don't know if the new damage model, if that just broke the right front suspension because that truck never turned. And it doesn't look like he was able to get that. Yeah, you see that truck just not turning. So heavy damage to the right front wheel of that truck. And then trying to get down onto pit road. Steve Gerber was there, and he just plows into the barrels at the end of pit road. So tough break for Chris Leftwich, who was so fast. He was catching the leader so quickly. And I thought he was going to have a chance to run down the leaders and challenge Jennings or somebody else for the lead. But right now, Mike Dunn out in front. Mike has not pit yet. He is on lap number 33 of this run. And, man, the lap times between these two, just quite a difference. Last time by, Michael Dunn ran a 32:48, and Jonathan Jennings ran a 29:60. Spears throwback looks good as Michael Dunn makes his way down onto pit road, and Michael Dunn runs in the SCSRA as well. I've had the opportunity to talk to him quite a bit about this paint job. He actually owns this truck. He owns one of the Spears trucks from, I want to say it's 2015 or 16. He's been able to show me all the pictures of it, and it's quite neat. He's got it all restored back, and he's getting that painted back with the old Spears logos and everything on it, bringing it back to the original paint that used to be on that truck. So a really, really cool thing that he's got going with that truck. But after pit stops have cycled around, it's going to put Jonathan Jennings back up into the lead. Justin McMahon currently runs in second. He's right behind that Spears truck. As he's able to drive right around. And he's got Tyler Millette right behind him, but Millette is the first truck that is one lap down. Bill Gentry and Steve Gerber trying to battle for the 7th position. Mike Leftwich is now running down the 34 of Bill Gentry. Tim Cross trying to make it 3 wide on Adam Gardner and Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown wisely gets out of the way. Kim Cross is on a little bit fresher tires right now, and he is making his way, trying to get himself back towards the lead lap, just one around Adam Gardner, who's running in 3rd. Justin McMahon still sitting in 2nd. He is about 3.5 seconds behind Jonathan Jennings. As Gentry is now losing a little bit of time to Mike Leftwich, who's moved himself up into the 8th position. Tim Cross now trying to run down Daniel Wilkerson, trying to take over the 12th position. Cross, who had some issues at the beginning of the race, found himself on pit road at the start of the race. Now he's driven himself up into the 13th position. He's continuing to run with Daniel Wilkerson and try to battle for this 12th position. And he's going to take that position right away. Jonathan Jennings' lead is now 4 seconds over Justin McMahon, and lap after lap, Jonathan Jennings is still running 30.2s. Justin McMahon's last lap was a 31.08, so almost a second quicker a lap Jonathan Jennings is than Justin McMahon, as Justin McMahon is working with a little bit of lap traffic. That could be slowing his progress a little bit as well. We have just 30 laps to go. Jonathan Jennings just dominating here tonight at Darlington. As we can see, the Rest of the field really spread out. You see Justin McMahon as Jonathan Jennings just exiting turn number 4. And let's see if we can get a good view to see exactly what 4 seconds looks like out on the racetrack. Try to find Justin McMahon entering the picture. And there he is, just getting into turn at number 3 now as Jonathan Jennings is exiting turn number 4. So it's a lot of ground that Justin McMahon has to make up if he's going to try to battle for the lead. The only thing he can hope for right now is a late race caution to tighten things up, get everybody back on equal tires, and have a chance at dethroning Jonathan Jennings. As much as Jonathan Jennings probably wouldn't want to see a caution, it could actually benefit him a little bit as well, because it would tighten the field back up and get rid of some of these lap cars that are hindering him a little bit. Because just the way that Darlington races, it's really easy to have almost mobile chicanes, if you will. Not by anybody's doing, and it's just a tough track, and not everybody does very well at this track because of how hard it is, as Tyler Millette has just gotten around Bill Gentry to put Tyler up into the 9th position. I know from personal experience, anytime I get on this track, I turn into a mobile chicane, so I have no problem saying this. This track is one of my favorite race tracks to watch a race, but I do not like being behind the wheel of anything at this track. See Kim Cross now running down Michael Dunn. He's going to take a look down to the inside of the 75. Try to put himself up into the 11th position. And Kevin Brown making his way down on the pit road. So Eddie Rivers on pit road as well. Here comes Michael Dow on the pit road. So the last round of pit stops taking place right now. See Adam Gardner, he was one of the earlier pitters on the first round of stops. Let's see if he does the same thing here. Looks like that 56 machine is going to stay out just a little bit longer. And Jonathan Jennings still the only driver in the 32nd bracket. Last time by, he ran a 30.61. Justin McMahon ran a 31.23. Adam Gardner with a 31.18. Kevin Powell with a 31.0. So far, Jonathan Jennings in his own zip code right now, having a fantastic run here at Darlington. And he said that he loves this track, and you can see why. Well, after this one's done, don't forget to join us right back here on Intensity Broadcasting as the SCSRA Truck Series has a doubleheader race, as they'll be taking on Watkins Glen for 2 different races. 25 laps for the first race, then 30 lap for the second race. Double points, full field invert between races. It's going to be an exciting one. So if you like watching these trucks turn left and turn right, check out the SCSRA right after this race is over, as we see Justin McMahon making his way down pit road for his final pit stop. Pitting from the second position, trying to do anything he can to try to get himself in contention here. Here's Mike Leftwich also making his way down on the pit road. So green flag pit stops underway. Adam Gardner rolling down pit road for his final pit stop. Same with Kevin Powell, also down on pit road. Here comes Jonathan Jennings pitting from the lead. Won't need much fuel to make it to the end. I wonder if anybody gambles on a 2-tire stop as we see Marshall Johnson taking over the lead of the race. Jackson Lomax sits back in the second position. Steve Gerber back in third as Tyler Millette now dives down on the pit road. That's going to put Kim Cross up into the fifth position. So after Kim had to start from pit road, he's been able to work his way back up into the fourth position. We have less than 20 laps to go. And right now, Justin McMahon is out in front of Jonathan Jennings. McMahon with the gamble. He did take only 2 tires. And right now he's trying to hold off Jonathan Jennings for what will be the lead when green flag pit stops cycle around. So with nothing to lose, Justin McMahon thought 2 tires would be the right call, and right now he's doing everything he can to keep that 91 behind him. His lead over Adam Gardner was large enough where he was able to make this gamble as he goes around Kim Cross, who is currently your 4th running vehicle now. As Marshall Johnson has made his way down on the pit road. Can Justin McMahon hold off Jonathan Jennings on these 2 tires? Jennings taking a look down to the inside, down into turns 3 and 4. McMahon up on that high side. He's got a little bit more preferred line, but Jennings on those 4 tires is able to drive right on by and retake the lead. And now that he's got clean air, he's going to set sail. And I commend Justin McMahon trying something different to try to get the win here tonight. Absolutely a ballsy move for sure. As we know, 4 fresh tires don't have much grip around this Darlington Raceway. I can't imagine what 2 tires feels like. It's Kim Cross and Michael Dunn still out on the racetrack. Neither one of these drivers have made their final pit stop yet. All of the other drivers have made their way down pit road except for these 2. Right now, both Kim Cross and Michael Dunn are losing a ton of time being out there all on these older tires. We saw Tyler Millette almost run into the back of Michael Dunn. Here comes Mike Leftwich around Dunn there. Leftwich is currently a lap down still. He's trying to unlap himself, but at the speeds that Jonathan Jennings are running right now, I don't think anybody's going to have anything for the 91 unless something dramatic happens. But so far, Jonathan Jennings has been able to run a flawless race. Great view from inside of his truck. Seeing him work the wheel there. Not a lot of movement in that wheel, which tells me that truck is handling incredibly well right now. Right along with Just McMahon, it's going to be a different tale as we see him almost turning to the right coming off the corner. So a much different feel for this truck on those two tires. Kim Cross has now made his way down on the pit road, giving up the third position and giving it to Adam Gardner. Can Adam Gardner stay out in front and try to keep himself on the podium here tonight? Michael Dunn still left the pit here as well, as last time he was on pit road was lap 35, as we have just 10 laps to go. I don't know if maybe he's saved enough fuel to make it to the end of the race, or if he's going to gamble a little bit. He's got a 4.5 second cushion over fifth place Kevin Powell. Tyler Millette making his way back down pit road. And I believe this is his third pit stop of the race. Doesn't look like he's getting tires. Looks like he's getting fuel only, as he is now down and away. We have just a handful of laps to go, 7 laps to go, as Jonathan Jennings is running up on the 50 of Michael Dow. Dow's going to pull down the inside, allow that 91 to go on by. Here's Kim Cross, though, on fresh tires, trying to get that lap back. He's able to get right around Jonathan Jennings. You see just the speed difference that new tires make. Jonathan Jennings now has a 3-second lead over Justin McMahon, who took just 2 tires. And again, I commend him for trying something different to get himself in position here to win. Then Adam Gardner runs back in third, and he is 19 seconds behind your leader and 16 seconds behind second place Justin McMahon. So just an eternity back to third place, as Jennings has just 5 laps to go here at Darlington. Michael Dunn has now hit pit road, so he will not be able to finish the race on the fuel that he had. And currently falling out of the top 10. Jennings makes his way around some more lap traffic. That is the 34 of Bill Gentry, who almost just ran up into front of the 91, and another little bit of a pucker moment there for the 91 machine, who's had a couple of those here tonight. Off of turn number 4, just 2 laps. I'm sorry, that was turn 2. Now he's making his way through turns 3 and 4. And we'll have just 2 laps to go for Jonathan Jennings. Trying to get his dominant 7th win of the season in just 12 races. As the white flag flies in the air, 1 lap to go. Daniel Wilkerson having some issues. Ooh, made some contact with Christopher Simon. Fortunately, it happened after the white flag flew. As they come off of turn number 4, Jonathan Jennings is going to get his 7th win of the season. Justin McMahon on 2 tires is going to bring it home in second. Adam Gardner coming off of turn number 4. It's going to have your final podium position. As Jonathan Jennings comes down onto the front stretch, where he is going to celebrate his win here tonight, his dominating win here tonight in Darlington, and pure domination, not just in the race here tonight, but on the season so far, scoring his 7th win in just 12 races. He's going to burn those tires down right until the engine dies, I'm sure. As you get ready to take a look at your results. Again, Jonathan Jennings getting the win here tonight. Justin McMahon and Adam Gardner, your top 3. Kevin Powell brings it home 4th. Jackson Lomax back in the 5th position. Marshall Johnson back in 6th. Steve Gerber, Mike Leftwich, Kim Cross, and Bill Gentry make up your top 10. Then Michael Dunn brought it home 11th. Kevin Brown back in the 12th spot. 13th was Mark Dumont, Christopher Simon, Tyler Millette, your top 15. 16th, Richard Leclerc. 17th, Daniel Wilkerson. 18th is Michael Dow, followed by Jeffrey Engel finishing 19th, and Chris Leftwich retiring in 20th. Eddie Rivers and Gary Maydew make up the rest of the field here tonight at Darlington as we get ready to talk to our top 3 drivers. Starting with your 3rd place finisher, Adam Gardner. Adam, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
Man, what a run here tonight. I know Jonathan Jennings was the class of the field, but good points night for you here tonight, coming home in 3rd. Talk us through your race a little bit here tonight and what changes you might have made to your strategy to try to do something a little different.
Honestly, I was just trying to stop the hemorrhaging from the last couple of weeks. Still get a little bit of a bleed in there because he didn't make up any points on either one of them 2 in front, but they didn't lose any and maximize the night. So kind of wish I'd stayed a little bit longer on that last pit stop, though, if I'd known he was coming in just behind me.
Yeah, usually we see you like to gamble on fuel and stretch it as long as you could. Tonight you were one of the earlier drivers on the pit road. Was that more because of tires, or was that just a little different strategy you're trying to run here tonight?
Yeah, tires were worth so much. I wanted to get early enough to take advantage of them, but at the same time, I didn't want to, get burned by that yellow coming out in the middle of it or something like that, which fortunately that didn't happen, but I don't know. I coming in before that second pit stop, I caught the wall coming off of turn 2, which really hurt the truck for the last run there, and it just made it super tight. Gave me a big vibration, but fortunately, it didn't have a meatball flag, so at least I was able to come out and keep it in the top 3. But can't complain. Figured go ahead, run the Kenny Irwin truck for a throwback here at Darlington tonight and mix it up a little bit. And I don't know, for any kind of good, so we might see it again this season. We might not. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I saw the Kenny Irwin throwback. I thought it was Kenny Irwin. I'm usually really good with my throwback trucks, but man, I couldn't remember if that's Kenny Irwin or somebody else. But great looking truck out there as well, and great run for you here tonight. And before we let you go, Adam, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here?
First, I got to shout out my smoking wife. And as for everybody watching, I missed you guys the last couple of races. Had some really crappy luck at Martinsville, some really unexpected, which I kind of expected because it was not the best of tracks. Next race at Kansas, I expected to run a lot better, and situations didn't work out there. That came out worse than we should have. But really, like I said, we stopped the hemorrhaging tonight, so I'm happy for that. Appreciate all you guys watching. Appreciate you for bringing it to everybody. Daniel for putting this all together. And just had fun, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it. It was a good race.
That was a phenomenal race up here as well. Again, congratulations on the podium, and I should know this where we're moving to next week. I was just looking at the schedule a minute ago. Charlotte. Charlotte.
I'm split on that. I expected to run good at Kansas. Like I said, things didn't work out for that, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna come out and I'm gonna have fun with it. We were talking before the start of the race with me and a few of the guys, and a little bit too much of a hole, I think, realistically, to climb out of this late in the season, just because of how the last couple of weeks have gone. But never say never, and regardless of no matter how the season ends up wrapping up here, considering it's not that far away, it's been a hell of a season. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. My first multi-win season, so a lot of positives to take, and who knows, maybe we'll get a couple more checkers before the end of it.
Well, again, awesome run here tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you do next week at Charlotte.
Sounds good.
Have a great night.
You too.
There we go. I couldn't find the waiting room there. So, as your third place finisher, Adam Gardner, let's talk to your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Justin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Coming home second, probably making the gutsiest call I've ever seen here on iRacing at Darlington. Taking 2 tires on that last stop. It worked for you for a couple laps, but it seemed like that car just got real evil there at the end. First off, talk us through the race. Talk us through those 2 tires and what the tire wear was like after just running in 2 there.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised how well the 2 tires actually held up. Usually the car will be super loose right after 2 tires there, and the balance was really nice. It actually started to get loose at the end of the run there, but I almost made it work. I knew I needed to gain some time on Jonathan there. He had a pretty good gap on me, so I was kind of thinking he was going to take 4, and I knew that the tire on the first stop really wasn't that bad on the left, so I figured we ran maybe half the amount of laps on that fuel run. So I figured it would be fairly decent, and it almost worked out for us, but it just went away there at the end, and I didn't have enough for him.
Well, a great looking truck out there too as well. Had that throwback Net Zero truck. I'm trying to remember who ran that truck in that paint job. And
2001 Jack Sprague.
There it is. That's what I thought it was. I again, just like Adams, I knew it was Kenny Irwin, but I couldn't remember if it was actually Kenny or somebody else's. But yeah, some awesome looking trucks out there. Jack Sprague. Yep, it makes sense with the 24 too.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember Net Zero, so
me too, unfortunately.
But man, just an incredible run out there. Kind of surprising that there was no cautions there. I know there was a couple a couple pucker moments for a few drivers out there, but were you kind of hoping for a late race caution there to try to get everybody down on pit road and equal things out a little bit more?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I think at the end there after we pit, I was kind of going to be okay with second place. I don't know if I really wanted the caution to come out to stack the field back up to have a short shoot for the finish there. I know a couple of the guys stayed out way later in pit, like really late, within 10 laps to go. So if a caution came out then, I think they probably would have stayed out, and we would have been forced to either stay out on old tires or pit and get new tires and kind of be trapped behind them. It's really hard to pass here, so um, I was kind of okay. I was kind of hoping that it was going to stay green to the end there, but um, all in all, it was a pretty good race. I kind of pancaked the right side a couple times there, but it was pretty good. Just a couple, there's a couple people that just are driving here that don't really have the awareness around them. I had a car shortly after I pit there through a block for some reason. He was already a lap down and through a block, comes all the way to the outside wall. I had to go from 175 miles an hour down to 145 like that, and I lost a lot of ground on Jonathan there. So just some of the driver awareness was off tonight for some people, but other than that, I mean, I'm surprised that there was zero cautions, especially the last couple weeks that we've had.
For sure, especially the last couple of tough tracks that you've had as well. But going to an easier track next week over at Charlotte. What are you expecting there at that track?
I feel pretty good about Charlotte. Hopefully that's going to be a good, hard, clean, fun race there too. I think I like my chances there a little bit more than I do here, but think it's really a toss up there as well. I mean, there's a lot of good drivers in this league, so I feel like it could be anybody's race, and I look forward to it. It should be fun.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight, second place. Anyone you want to thank? Any shout-outs you got to give before we let you go?
Yeah, Daniel and the boys at Loud Pedal Racing, and you guys for putting the broadcast on, and congrats to Jonathan on the win.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the second place finish, and look forward to seeing what you do next week over at Charlotte. So have yourself a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Josh. Thank you.
So as your second place finisher, Justin McMahon, let's bring in your winner here tonight, his 7th win of the season, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up to booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, just kind of just like the season, just a dominating performance here at Darlington. I know last week you said you loved this track and you showed why. At one point you had, I believe, a 9-second lead over Justin McMahon before he took those 2 tires. Were you kind of surprised to see that he took those 2 tires and they almost, worked for him for a few laps?
Yeah, because I don't know, Darlington's kind of not a place you do that. But he was in a position where he had to try something. So yeah, it's not something I was willing to do.
And you yourself had a couple pucker moments. I saw a couple trucks get really loose up in front of you, especially there towards the end. Did that kind of concern you, and were you kind of surprised that we had 0 cautions here tonight at Darlington?
Yeah, I'm very surprised there wasn't any cautions, but it's a good thing though. And I shoot a few moments that kind of scared me with the lap trucks, but for the most part, everybody was respectful.
Oh, for sure, and we know how hard it is to navigate this track by yourself. Trying to get around those slower cars can be real tricky as well. But man, again, congratulations on your 7th win of the season, and we move on to Charlotte next week. How do you like your chances at Charlotte?
I don't know, man. There's got Leftwich and Gardner, and of course, and several others that's going to be fast there. So, this is the best I can. I got lucky so far.
For sure. Well, man, great win again tonight here. Dominating performance. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for all the work they do to put these races on week in and week out, and my teammates for the practice and the teamwork.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on your win here tonight, and we look forward to see what you can do at Charlotte, and have yourself a great rest of your night.
Thank you, you too.
So that was your winner, Jonathan Jennings, dominating the season and dominating here at Darlington Raceway. Don't forget to join us right after this one in about a half-hour time as the SCS Array Morris Customs Truck Series takes on Watkins Glen for a doubleheader event. You're not going to want to miss that, watching the trucks turn left and right. That's going to do it here tonight for us here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to hit that follow button, like, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we're live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, don't forget to tune in next week here as the boys take on Charlotte in the Doghouse Racing League. And we want to thank all of our great partners. Check out the Doghouse Racing League website, link down below in the description. You can also check out our great partners, The Butt Kicker, for all your gaming haptic needs. Check out thebuttkicker.com. You can also check out Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs, as well as our web store to help support the channel. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, thank you for joining us. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.